Good afternoon, everyone. This is Terry and Rosie. We're out here on the trail again. It's Sunday the 23rd, 2022. We're going to do a demonstration and a test and a review on the Stihl MSA 22 or 220. I'll get it out there. The 220C. This is Stihl's for 22. It's, as far as I know, it's their top end electric saw. It has a 16-inch blade on it. It is electric. It's got a self toolless chain tensioner on it. Seems to work pretty good. It's plastic, so I worry about the longevity. But it's a new saw, and I paid I think a premium price for what it is. It was about $1,200. I got two batteries, one charger, and two deluxe batteries with it. So why I bought it is I wanted to try electric saw. I thought it'd be handy to have something small, and if you're working early in the morning or you're out doing some trail maintenance, which I do a lot of, that it wouldn't disturb the neighbors and be friendly. And I wanted to give it a try, and I'm a landscaper, so I'm willing to spend a few extra dollars. But we'll talk about a little bit more towards the end of the video, but that's kind of the introduction. It's the MSA 220C Stihl electric saw. This is what it's for. And Rosie here, she's going to demo it for you here on this video, so she knows how to work it. She's going to go into the woods here, and we're going to see different cuts and stuff. Real quick, when I first got the saw, before she gets doing it, I come down here last fall. So this saw, you want to bring that saw down here? This tree had fell across the trail, and I just purchased the saw. Hold that blade up against that wood there and demonstrate. I'm down here next to where the cut is. So you can see that saw was able to cut that. Now what it does or won't do it cuts through it, but a nice powerful gas power will just cut through there quicker. But if you're patient with it and take more time, it can cut a piece of lumber that big. So I had cut that tree out last fall when I first purchased it, or last spring or whatever, about a year ago. And I did some of these little cuts. So she's going to demo. We're going to go back over here. So go ahead, Rosie, and be careful with it, and do like I said, and be safe. So keep your legs away and keep a good handhold on it. So there you have it. So that is some old hardwood, and it's about 3.5, maybe up to 4 inches thick, 3 to 4 inches thick there. So she just cut through that, and it's surprisingly got some life. It's old, but it's not rotten. And the blade do another cut on that, 2 or 3 cuts on each piece. And yeah, so the blade on that's a little dull, so it does cut pretty good. Because I have, like I showed up there, I have cut 15, 16-inch thick logs with it, and it will get through even the hardest wood.
Is hard.
But this is surprisingly hardwood. Plus the saw's a little dull. We'll put either sharpen it or throw a new chain on it for our next video maybe. here she is there. Yeah, that's pretty easy wood there. It's rotten. Go ahead and cut 3 or 4 cuts on it. Take some extra time. You gotta be careful because that'll kick back. And always keep a firm hand on the saw. Be strong with it because they can jump around when they hit wood. Try this one that's got this bend in it there. See if you can cut some of that off. Take another cut or two. Take 2 or 3 cuts on each one. So that's dead wood, but it's still, it's not really rotten. This one little one was. So come over here and try 2 or 3 cuts on that end piece. Get just a little bit of the end and then just keep going back a little bit. Start out there on the end. Now that's the old oak tree, but I mean it's as hard as nails inside. Go ahead and make another cut or 2 when you get a chance. Just a little bit. Well, people like to see it. Now Rosie's not real experienced with the saws, so I don't know if she's putting enough pressure on it. I would have to try it. I'll tend to stall them out because I push a little harder. She's probably.
So you need a pressure, right?
Oh yeah, you put a little pressure.
Okay.
Now, if it's stalling and the motor's stopping, you're pushing too hard. Yeah. But to go through the wood, you push a little bit, and that makes it go through. So yeah, she's a little new to the chainsaw because my other
it's very heavy. And
my other gas ones are very heavy, and they're like top end professional German-made saws.
You need to sharpen the blade.
So do you, well, go ahead. You want to keep making a few more cuts for the people? We got a couple more minutes and show them what what it can do. Show them. And the other thing with the cutting, you can keep doing stuff if you want. With the way it cuts the battery life, it depends on how big the wood is and how hard it is. But generally speaking, on like that 15, 16 inch log up there that we showed you earlier, I'm getting probably you got to be careful about dropping the blade into the dirt. That's why you have to control you have to be really controlled with it. I'm just helping coach you a little bit. But I can probably make at least a dozen cuts through logs like that with the sharp chain and one battery. I can at least probably get a dozen cuts through a 12 to 16 inch log like this here. So that's what this is. So now on the little stuff, you can get probably 40 to 60 cuts per battery. And I purchased 2 batteries with this unit.
What do you mean by AP300S?
And that's the battery on it. That's the battery I chose with it. Then if you push this button here, the green lights indicate how much life. So she's full charge. So
Okay.
she can do a lot more cutting. So
Okay, yeah.
the 8 or 10 cuts that she's made, she could probably cut 60 of them with one battery. I also have 2 batteries for it, so I carry them when I'm going out and doing bigger jobs. So I've done some bigger jobs, but if I'm really doing a lot of work, I will take the gas powered if I got to go through big logs quickly. Now, if I just got something, my limbs fell, a small tree, I will grab this saw. It's fairly light and just quick and easy. You don't have to start it. You don't have to gas it up. You do oil it and check the chain and do all them different things. So,
That's very nice.
but so I like it. But for $1,200, I think it's overpriced for what it will do, because it's $200-300 more than my other 2 much stronger
This
saws.
is very heavy, honey.
And my other saws will bust through, twice as much wood, the thicker, harder wood than this. So the price came down, and you could get this for $400 to $600. I would think it'd be, I think it's an excellent value there. At $1,200, it's more expensive than most of their professional saws, and I think that's overpriced for what it will do. But I do think it's kind of the future. A lot of electric products, it's not there for me in most cases, where it would be the only thing that I would have in my arsenal. So it's an add-on tool if you want something quiet, you want something quick and easy. You don't have to fuss with the gas. I like it's fairly quiet, and
Is
that's
on?
the trigger, and that's the safety switch. She's wondering what the question. So it's got a little button you have to push before you can engage the trigger, because if you just squeeze them out, it doesn't work.
Okay, yeah, all right.
So that's a safety feature. So, all right, Rosie. Well, what do you think of the saw overall, as far as your thoughts, or for women or somebody smaller? How do you rate that saw? Is it the weight? Does it do the job? Is it?
This is perfect for me and for my size, because if I'm going to use the bigger saw, I may never lift it up, and I cannot push it harder. You know what I mean?
Okay.
The weight of this is quite heavy already. So
how do you feel about the work that it can do? Are you happy? Would think it's a good tool
it
for?
is efficient. Yeah.
You think it's efficient and a tool that you would recommend for somebody out doing this type of work here?
Yep.
Okay.
And if you have just like a small limbs or a small tree, this is a perfect one. You don't need a big one.
Okay. So so there you have it from a woman's perspective, because she's a small, petite woman, about 90 pounds and 5'3", and a very hard worker and used to handling equipment and being outside. So she's a little rusty on the chainsaw use. So I got looking off there. So
This is the first time that I use I use this one to cut something.
This is the first time, well, second time you did have it out the one day and did a little bit over here, but this is the first. This what you're seeing here in this video is really the first time she's really done much with this particular saw. She's not had a lot of experience with chainsaws. So do you want to wrap it up with a couple more cuts? Real quick, just do a couple maybe get that log once or twice and we'll be done. You have one more cut on something. So let's wrap it up with
now we're gonna cut an oak wood, which is very tough.
You have very little time, so 1 more minute to get through there. So okay, there you go, from Rosie the woodcutter. And that was an oak log, a big oak tree that fell across the creek, and it's very hard yet. It's not rotten. So she's figured on it's not as dull as I
I will
not
put
as
it in my
it's
shoulder.
this is the way she carries it through the woods when we have to carry it on the job site. So
Because my shoulder is quite stiff, so
So,
this is much more easy.
anyhow, that's Rosie the woodcutter and the Stihl MS220. I believe I'm looking on the side again. Yeah, MSA 220C, Stihl's top end electric saw as far as I know when I bought it. So thanks for watching. That's it for now.